Students, in previous class what we learned? Mesolithic age. Today we learn about Neolithic age. What the Neolithic age? Since the Mesolithic, human beings were into what? Animal husbandry. And because of that they often face what? A shortage of food for themselves and for their animals. Because if they are feeding the animals, they have to provide the food for the animals. No. That's why they are also facing shortage of food and also the animals, because they are engaged in the animal husbandry. Okay. So what they done? Next step. So these peoples means Neolithic age peoples started producing their own food. Means own food when? During Neolithic age. Means see, first in Mesolithic and Paleolithic age what we learned, that first they are eating tubers and what they are getting naturally, the fruits like this. Next they are started to gathering the wild nuts and afterwards hunting. In these states when they came to Neolithic age, they started to produce their own food for themselves. During when started Neolithic age. Okay. And how they produce their own food? They started cultivating the crops. What? They started to cultivating the crops on the alluvial soil on the banks of the rivers. Because rivers is the main important for the agricultural what we want? Main water. And they have started to grow the crops where? On the banks. On the banks of the river. On the banks of the river. And which type of soil they first got? Alluvial soil. Alluvial soil, how it is formed? It is formed, that is by the deposited by the surface of water that is coming from the rivers, and it is very good for the crops. And like this they started cultivating crops on the alluvial soil on the banks of the rivers. Most importantly, you have to remember that any peoples want to settle means they want what? Main water. That's why for every facility what they will do, where the rivers are there like this, where the waters we will find, we will settle there. Okay. Next, agricultural provided food to them and fodder to their animals. What? Cultivating crop means agricultural only, no. Agricultural provided what? Food for whom? Neolithic peoples. For whom? Neolithic peoples. And Neolithic peoples rearing the animals means feeding the animals means whatever the left in the agriculture, the grasses like this, they are feeding to the what it is called fodder, that is they are giving to their animals like this. Agriculture helped for them also as a food and fodder as to the animals. Okay. Next, this enabled them settle in one place, living aside the life of wanderers. Means the agricultural life made them to settle at one place, because now they are getting the food and the food for the animals also. That's why they are not going in search of food and they are wandering from one place to one. Why they are wandering in search of food? When they get that food in the form of agriculture, and then what they will do? They will settle in a one place like this. In Neolithic age, people started to live at one place and left the life of wanderers. Okay. Like this, agricultural became what? The first step. What? The first step in what? In the direction of civilization and culture. Civilization means what? It's a beginning step for the peoples and following the ways how to live like this. Understood? Civilization and culture. Culture means the attitude, dress, their ideas, customs, that is in the group of society are following in that type like this. The starting was the first step in the direction of the civilization and culture. Civilization means ನಾಗರಿಕತೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮೊದಲನೆಯ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್, ಮೊದಲನೇ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಏನು? Agriculture. Okay. Like this. The first evidence of agriculture. What? The first evidence of agriculture in our Indian subcontinent. Where it is found? It is found in Mehergarh. Where? In Mehergarh. And where it is? In Mehergarh, it is in a present Pakistan. Where it is? It is in present Pakistan. And here the peoples of Neolithic age, how they are constructing the houses. ಮನೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂದರೆ ಸನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಡ್ರೈಡ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಬ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಟಂಗಿಯನ್ನು ಸೂರ್ಯನ ಕಿರಣದಿಂದ ಒಣಗಿಸಿ ಆ ಥರ ಮನೆಯನ್ನು ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ they are living in that places. And constructed house of which one? Sun dried bricks for living. And the people residing in Burj home of Kashmir. Who? The people of residing means living in. Where? Burj home. And where it is? It is in Kashmir. And what is their speciality means? Their peoples are living underground. Dug, that is the underground shelters, and they are living underground. Okay. And these are the developments after what? After the agriculture. What are the developments we saw after the agriculture? People started to living at one place, and they started to, it's like a first step in the direction of civilization and culture. And next, what it is, they started to construct the house of which one they made? Sun dried bricks. And also people started to live in a underground shelters, where it is we found in a Burj home of Kashmir. And when the agriculture was started means they are started to cultivating the crops. After harvesting, what we will get? Grains like this. And for their storing, what they done? See, for storing purpose, when they started to face the problem where it has to store the food or grains, food not grains, they started to produce what? Handmade pottery. They started to own their handmade pottery pots. They started to manufacturing pots. Why? To store the grains. Later on, after the introduction of wheel, the manufacturing of different types and varieties of pots became easy. Wheel means what? The soil was mixed with the water, and it was make it as a mud, and afterwards they will keep on this wheel. They will keep on this wheel, and afterwards from that they can make any shape they want. If they want to make a big if they want to make a big pots, they can. If they want to make a small pots, okay. And they can also make varieties of pots. And this made easy out by the introduction of wheel. In which age? In Neolithic age. Means by the introduction of the wheel, what happened? They started to make a different types and varieties of pots that makes easy for them. And why they are making the pots? To storing the grains like this. And next, the Neolithic peoples, they are also using the stone tools now. They were making that one sharp and used. Okay, the stone were sharpened and used because that means they have advanced now. Because they are stepping towards civilization, and they know that one civilization is nothing but improvement. And in the form of how they are improving, civilization means they improve as to construct the house, how to use sun-dried bricks, and afterwards they started to cultivating the crops for them and for their animals. And for storing that purpose, what they are using? Pots. Storing the grains, what they are using? Pots. And for that purpose, storing the grains, pots, they also introduce a wheel that makes different types and varieties of pots that makes easy for them. Okay, like this they are started to develop one by one in the step to step. And next, like this, Sanganakallu of Ballari. Sanganakallu of Ballari was one of the such center of such stone tools. Means Neolithic age, like this stone tools is there, no, that is a improved, sharpened, they are making, no, that type tools are where they are found in a Sanganakallu, where it is in Ballari. Okay. And they also started, Neolithic age people also started what? Hand axe and other tools, and they are now started to make out of bone. What? Bones. And that is also, bones is very sharp. Maybe that is from the animals are very sharp like this. They started to make what? And axe and other tools, weapons. Tools means what? Weapons. They started to made out of what? Bone. Okay. In which age? Neolithic age. And afterwards, like some of the evidence found of Neolithic age where? At Banahalli, Brahmagiri, Piklihala, Allur, T. Narsipuram, Uttanur of Karnataka, Chiranda of Bihar. What? These are the name of the places. What we will get there? The evidence of Neolithic age peoples, means how they live, what they are using, like this. This type of evidence we have found in these places. Okay. And usually what? This is fixed. Which one? Neolithic age fixed between 9,000 and 5,000 years ago considered to now. That much old. Understood?